Emperor Gaozu was the founder and first emperor of the Han Dynasty. He ruled China from 202 to 195 BC. Gaozu was one of the few dynasty founders in Chinese history originating from the peasant class. During his reign, Liu Bang reduced taxes and corvée, promoted Confucianism, and suppressed revolts by the rulers of some vassal states, among other things. He also initiated the policy of He to maintain peace between the Han Empire and the Xiang Yu after he lost to the Xiang Yu at the Battle of Beiding. In 200 BC, Liu Bang died in 195 BC and was succeeded by his son, Liu Ying. Before coming to power, Liu Bang initially served as a minor patrol officer in his hometown, Pei County, from what had been the Chu, then occupied by the Qing dynasty. With its disintegration, Liu Bang would go on to engage the rebel leader Xiang Yu in a power struggle termed the Chu-Han contention for supremacy over China, while concurrently invading and subjugating the other kingdoms. During the fall of the preceding Qing dynasty in 2006 BC, Xiang Yu, the de facto chief of the rebel forces, divided the former Qing Empire into the 18 kingdoms. Xiang declared himself the king of Western Chu and appointed 17 former rebel leaders, including Liu Bang, as the rulers of the other kingdoms. Liu Bang became the king of Han and was given a domain in the remote Bashu region. Later that year, Liu Bang led his forces out of Bashu and attacked and conquered the 3 Qins, 3 of the 18 kingdoms which were nearest to his domain. In 202 BC, the war concluded with victory for Liu Bang, who succeeded in unifying most of China under his control. Liu Bang established the Han Dynasty and was proclaimed emperor that year. Birth and early life. In imperial Han myth, Liu Bang was a descendant of the mythical emperor Yao, who descended from the Yellow Emperor. Many Chinese noble families claimed descent from the Yellow Emperor. Liu Bang was born in a peasant family in Zhongyang Village, Fengtown, Pei County, which is in present-day Feng County, Zhuzhou, Jiangsu. His parents' names were not recorded in history and they were simply referred to as Liu Taigong and Luo. In legend, before Liu Bang's birth, his mother was caught in a rainstorm and took shelter under a bridge. Just then, there was lightning and thunder and the sky darkened. Liu Bang's father went to fetch his wife home and saw a dragon hovering above her. She became pregnant and gave birth to Liu Bang later. The young Liu Bang was outspoken, charismatic, and of great forbearance and tolerance. However, he enjoyed loafing, disliked reading, and showed no interest in farming, hence his father often called him a little rascal. Liu Bang persisted in his idling ways and depended on his brother's family for food and lodging. When he grew older, he was appointed as a low-ranking patrol officer, forged close relationships with the local county bureaucrats, and earned himself a small reputation in his hometown. One day, Liu Wen, a respectable man who had recently moved to Pei County, was visited by the elites in town. He, who was in charge of helping Liu Wen collect gifts from the visitors, announced, "Those who do not offer more than 1,000 coins worth of gifts shall be seated outside the hall." Liu Bang went there without bringing any money and said, "I offer 10,000 coins." Liu Wen saw Liu Bang and was so impressed with him on first sight that he immediately stood up and welcomed Liu into the hall to sit beside him. He told Liu Wen that Liu Bang was not serious, but Liu ignored him and chatted with Liu. Liu Wen said, "I used to predict fortunes for many people, but I have never seen someone so exceptional like you before." Quote. He then offered his daughter Liu Zhi's hand in marriage to Liu Bang and they were wed. Liu Zhi bore Liu Bang a son and a daughter. Insurrection against the Qing dynasty. Liu Bang was tasked with escorting a group of convicts to Mount Li to build Qin Shi Huang's mausoleum. When some prisoners escaped during the journey, Liu Bang feared for his life because allowing convicts to escape was a capital offense under Qin law. He eventually released the remaining prisoners and became a fugitive. Some of the convicts he released joined him of their own accord. In legend, they encountered a gigantic white serpent which killed some people with its poisonous breath. Liu Bang slew the serpent that night and encountered an old woman weeping by the road the next morning. When Liu Bang's men asked her why she was crying, she replied, "My child, the White Emperor's son, has been slain by the son of the Red Emperor." Quote. She then disappeared mysteriously. After hearing the old woman's strange words, Liu Bang's followers believed that Liu was destined to become a ruler in the future and became more impressed with him. This event is known as the Uprising of the Slaying of the White Serpent. Liu Bang and his followers took refuge on Mount Mangdang and lived as outlaws in a stronghold there. Liu Bang still maintained secret contact with his old friends such as Xiang and Cao Shen in Pei County. In 2009 BC, Chen Shang and Wu Guang started the Zhang uprising to overthrow the Qin dynasty. The magistrate of Pei County considered joining the rebellion as well, so acting on the advice of Xiang and Cao Shen, he sent Fan Kuai to invite Liu and his followers back to Pei County to support him. However, he changed his mind later and denied Liu Bang entry into the county. He was worried that Xiang and Cao Shen might open the gates for Liu Bang, so he intended to kill them, but Xiang and Cao escaped and joined Liu. Liu Bang followed Xiang's suggestion and ordered his men to write letters, wrap them around arrows, and fire the arrows into the county. In the letters, he urged the townsfolk to help him. They responded to his call by killing the magistrate and welcoming him back into Pei County. Liu Bang styled himself the Duke of Pei and became known to others by this title. In 208 BC, during the reign of Qin Shi, the descendants of the royal families of the former Yan, Zhao, Qi and Wei states rebelled against the Qin Empire in the name of restoring the states, which were conquered by Qin in a series of wars about 2 decades ago. In Wu, Xiang Liang started an uprising as well and installed Zhongxin as King Huai II on the throne of the former Chu state. Liu Bang joined Xiang Liang and served in Chu for some time. After Xiang Liang was killed in action at the Battle of Dingtao, King Huai II sent Xiang Liang's nephew Xiang Yu and Song Yi to lead an army to reinforce the Zhao state, which was under attack by Qin forces. Liu Bang was granted the title Marquis of Wuan by the king and tasked with leading an army to attack Qin. The king promised that whoever entered Guanzhong first would receive the title King of Guanzhong. In 2006 BC, Liu Bang beat Xiang Yu in the race to Guanzhong and arrived in Zhanyang, the Qin capital. Xing, the last Qin emperor, surrendered to Liu Bang and ended the Qin dynasty. Liu Bang issued strict orders to his men, forbidding them from killing innocent civilians and pillaging the cities they conquered. Peace and stability were temporarily restored in Zhanyang while Liu Bang's forces were stationed there. Chu Han contention. Feast at Honggate. Xiang Yu was dissatisfied that Liu Bang had beat him in the race to Guanzhong, so he set a trap to kill Liu after being instigated by his advisor Fan Zheng and Cao Wushang, a defector from Liu's side. In 206 BC, he pretended to invite Liu Bang to a banquet while secretly planning to assassinate Liu during the banquet. Xiang Yu's uncle, Xiangbo, who was a close friend of Liu Bang's strategist Zhang Liang, managed to persuade his nephew to spare Liu's life. Fan Zheng then ordered Xiang Yu's cousin Xiang Zhuang to pretend to perform a sword dance and use the opportunity to kill Liu Bang. But Xiangbo pretended to join the dance and blocked Xiang Zhuang every time he thrust his sword towards Liu. Liu Bang pretended to go to the latrine and used the chance to escape. He and his forces then evacuated from Zhanyang and retreated west. Xiang Yu led his forces into Zhanyang, where they plundered and pillaged the city and burnt down the Epang Palace. Conquest of the Three Qin. After occupying Zhanyang, Xiang Yu proclaimed himself Hegemon King of Western Shu, and split the former Qin Empire into the 18 kingdoms. The Guanzhong area, which was rightfully Liu Bang's per King Huai II's earlier promise, was given by Xiang Yu to 3 former Qin generals instead. Liu Bang was relocated to Hanzhong in the remote Bashu region and received the title King of Han. When a rebellion broke out in the Qi kingdom in late 2006 BC, Xiang Yu left Western Shu to suppress the revolt. Liu Bang used the opportunity to invade and conquer Guanzhong and then attack several Chu territories, including the capital Pengcheng. Battle of Gaozu. From 206–202 BC, Liu Bang engaged Xiang Yu in a past struggle, historically known as the Chu-Han contention, for supremacy over China, while simultaneously attacking and subjugating the other kingdoms. In 2003 BC, Xiang Yu and Liu Bang came to an armistice, known as the Treaty of Hong Canal, which divided China into east and west along the Hong Canal under the Chu and Han regimes respectively. A few months later, Liu Bang renounced the treaty and attacked Xiang Yu again. In 2002 BC, Xiang Yu lost to Liu Bang at the Battle of Gaozu and committed suicide, after which Chu surrendered to Han. Liu Bang had unified much of China under his control by then. Establishment of the Han Dynasty. In 2002 BC, Liu Bang was enthroned as the emperor with support from his subjects even though he expressed reluctance to take the throne. He named his dynasty Han and was historically known as Emperor Gaozu. He established the capital in Luoyang and instated his official spouse Liu Ji as the empress and the son Liu Ying as the crown prince. The following year, Emperor Gaozu wanted to reward his subjects who had contributed to the founding of the Han Empire, but the process dragged on for a year because they could not agree on the distribution of the rewards. The emperor thought that Xiaohe's contributions were the greatest, so he awarded Xiao the title Marquis of Zan and gave him the largest amount of food stores. Some of the others expressed objections because they thought that Xiaohe was not directly involved in battle, so his contributions should not be considered the greatest. Emperor Gaozu replied that Xiaohe should receive the highest credit because he planned their overall strategy in the war against Xiang Yu. He named Cao Shen as the person who made the greatest contributions in battle and rewarded him and the others accordingly. Reign. Reducing taxes and corvée. Emperor Gaozu disbanded his armies and allowed the soldiers to return home. He gave an order stating that the people who remained in Guanzhong were exempted from taxes and corvée for 12 years, while those who returned to the respective native territories were exempted for 6 years, and that the central government would provide for them for a year. He also granted freedom to those who had sold themselves into slavery to avoid hunger during the wars. In 195 BC, the emperor issued 2 decrees. The first officialized the lowering of taxes and corvée. The second set the amount of tribute to be paid by the vassal kings to the imperial court. In the 10th month of every year, the land tax on agricultural production was reduced to a rate of 1/15 of crop yield. He also privatized the coinage. Emphasis on Confucianism. In his early days, Emperor Gaozu disliked reading and scorned Confucianism. After becoming the emperor, he still held the same attitudes towards Confucianism as he did before until he encountered the scholar Liu Jie. Liu Gu wrote a 12-volume book, Xiang Yu, which espoused the benefits of governing by moral virtue as opposed to using harsh and punitive laws. Liu Gu read each volume to the emperor after he finished writing it. The emperor was deeply impressed. Under Emperor Gaozu's reign, Confucianism flourished and gradually replaced legalism as the state ideology. Confucian scholars, including Liu Bang, were recruited to serve in the government. The emperor also reformed the legal system by relaxing some laws inherited from the Qing regime and reducing the severity of certain penalties. In 196 BC, after suppressing a rebellion by Yingbu, he passed by Shandong, the birthplace of Confucius, and personally prepared for a ceremony to pay respect to the philosopher. Dispute over the succession. In his later years, Emperor Gaozu favored concubine Qi and neglected Empress Liu Ji. He thought that Liu Ying, his heir apparent, was too weak to be a ruler. Thus, he had the intention of replacing Liu Ying with another son, Liu Ruyi, who was born to concubine Qi. Liu Ji became worried, so she asked Zhang Liang to help her son maintain his position. Zhang Liang recommended 4 reclusive wise men, the 4 House of Man Shang, to help Liu Ying. In 195 BC, as Emperor Gaozu's health started to worsen, he desired even more to replace Liu Ying with Liu Ruyi as the crown prince. Zhang Liang tried to dissuade him but was ignored, so he retired on the excuse that he was ill. Chu Santong and Zhou Chang also strongly objected to the emperor's decision to replace Liu Ying with Liu Ruyi. Zhou Chang said, "I am not good in arguing, but I know this is not right. If your majesty deposes the crown prince, I won't follow your orders anymore." Zhou Chang was outspoken, but he had a stuttering problem, which made his speech very amusing. The emperor laughed. After that, the 4 House of Mount Shang showed up in the court. Emperor Gaozu was surprised to see them because they had previously declined to join the civil service when he invited them. The 4 men promised to help Liu Ying in the future if he were to remain as the crown prince. The emperor was pleased to see that Liu Ying had their support, so he dismissed the idea of changing his heir apparent. Military campaigns. After establishing the Han Dynasty, Emperor Gaozu appointed princes and vassal kings to help him govern the Han Empire and gave each of them a piece of land. There were 7 vassal kings who were not related to the imperial clan. Zhang Tu, the king of Yan; Han Xin, the king of Han; Han Xin, the king of Chu; Peng Yu, the king of Liang; Yingbu, the king of Wan; and Zhang Er, the king of Shao; Wu Rui, the king of Changsha. However, later, the emperor became worried that the vassal kings might rebel against him because they, after all, had no blood relations with him. Han Xin and Peng Yu were accused of treason, arrested and executed along with the families. Yingbu and Zhang Tu rebelled against him but were defeated and killed. Only Wu Rui and Zhang Er were left. The Xiang in the north had been a threat since the Qing dynasty. Qin Shi Huang had sent the general Meng Tian to oversee the defenses on the Qin Empire's northern border and the construction of the Great Wall to repel the invaders. Meng Tian achieved success in deterring the Xiang from advancing beyond the border. However, after the Qin dynasty collapsed, the Xiang seized the opportunity to move south and raid the border again. In 2001 BC, Han Xin defected to the Xiang leader, Mo Du. In the following year, Emperor Gaozu led an army to attack the Xiang but was besieged and trapped by the enemy at the Battle of Beideng. Acting on Chen Ping's advice, he bribed Mo Du's wife with gifts and got her to ask her husband to withdraw his forces. Mo Du did so. After returning to the capital, Emperor Gaozu initiated the policy of Heqin, which involved sending noble ladies to marry the Xiang leaders and paying annual tribute to the Xiang in exchange for peace between the Han Empire under Xiang Yu. Death. Emperor Gaozu was wounded by a stray arrow during the campaign against Yingbu. He became seriously ill and remained in his inner chambers for a long period of time and ordered his guards to deny entry to everyone who tried to visit him. After several days, Fan Kuai barged into the chambers to see the emperor, and the other subjects followed behind him. They saw Emperor Gaozu lying on his bed and attended to by a eunuch. Fan Kuai said, "How glorious it was when your majesty first led us to conquer the empire, and how weary we are now. Your subjects are worried when they learn that your majesty is ill, but your majesty refuses to see us and prefers the company of a eunuch instead. Has your majesty forgotten the incident about Zhao Gao?" The emperor laughed and got out of bed to meet his subjects. Emperor Gaozu's health deteriorated later, so Empress Liu hired a famous physician to heal him. When Emperor Gaozu inquired about his condition, the physician told him that his illness could be cured. But the emperor was displeased and he scolded the physician. "Isn't it heaven's will that I managed to conquer this empire in simple clothing and with nothing but a sword? My life is determined by heaven. It is useless even if Bian K is here." He refused to continue with the treatment and sent the physician away. Before his death, he said that Cao Shen could succeed Xiao He as the chancellor after Xiao died, and that Wang Ling could succeed Cao Shen. He also said that Wang Ling might be too young to perform his duties, so Chen Ping could assist Wang. But Chen was also qualified to assume the responsibilities of a chancellor all by himself. He also named Zhou as a possible candidate for the role of Grand Commandant. He died in Changle Palace on the 1st of June 195 BC and was succeeded by Liu Ying, who became historically known as Emperor Hui. Song of the Great Wind. The Song of the Great Wind was a song composed by Liu Bang in 195 BC when he visited his hometown in Pei County after suppressing Yingbu's rebellion. He prepared a banquet and invited all his old friends and townsfolk to join him. After some drinks, Liu Bang played the guqin and sang the Song of the Great Wind. Family and descendants.